Normally I'm live on Facebook, but apparently I'm not allowed to do that anymore. Not because I'm naughty, but maybe because I'm not paying them $14.99 a month. So I don't know. It could be, but there's always a workaround. I know I am almost 15 minutes late. That is for my normal Facebook Live tonight. Welcome, welcome to Queenie's Cards of the Month story for April 2023. Let's see what we can come up with. Normally, I have been doing this for years over on my Erin Shannon profile, Queenie Pie, over on Facebook. I did Facebook Lives, I uploaded videos, but I am unable to do that tonight either on my phone or on my tablet, which is where we are. And so I'm doing it here on my tablet because my daughter had the great idea. Now, we're going to be pulling. I am an intuitive coach, reader, and I have been doing this work for a long time, since about 1980. Yeah, uh, early 80s. Okay, I've been doing this work since then. Over the time period, I have picked up different types of decks and everything like that. But I primarily, for my readings, I use the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud, and they are really great. And that is going to be the first card that we pull. That is going to be the overview of the month. And I'm a little sad because on Facebook Live, I had people that would come onto my Facebook Live and chat and stuff like that. And it would be really, really good. It would be really nice. Got it. And, but I guess that is just uh, how it goes today. So hopefully you guys will wander on over here, or if somebody happens upon me and says, oh, maybe I'd like to listen to this crazy lady with Marilyn Monroe behind her talk about the energy of the month coming up, of the month of April, then welcome. You know, it it's I'm winging it tonight. I guess this we can say that this is my first official Cards of the Month YouTube live in a couple of years, because I think I tried to do Cards of the Month live in 2020 during the Panini. So this is where we are. I am going to grab my water. And I'm going to come back and sit down and let's talk about the cards of the month. Let's shuffle the Fairies Oracle cards. That was a lot of talking, wasn't it? I'm sorry. Just put them on the table here. This is what they look like. They're very pretty. And they've kind of got the weird back. And this is actually one of the cards that's in there, the what's on the back of them. I don't know if we'll get that one today. So basically, I shuffle the cards until I feel like I'm done. And the stuff that I do is all about reading energy. And the other day, I was talking to a friend of mine at work, and she was asking what I did and how, because I have a day job. I know, crazy, right? Um, and I kind of bemused. I was kind of thinking, well, how did I get this way to where I just can sense energy and I can read energy, and how come, why am I this way? And I realized that I spent a lot of time alone from the time I was a little teeny baby, and my mom had some stuff going on to where it there wasn't a lot of, I got sat in front of the TV in my playpen a lot. So pardon me. So I might have been lonely and I might have just reached out energetically because that was how I knew how. I was a baby. And so I started being able to sense those things around me. And maybe that's where it started. Don't know, but it's there. And I'm kind of floating in it. And we all are. It's just some people have different ways of sensing what they're interpreting, or different ways of interpreting what they're sensing or not sensing. So let's shuffle these cards and get the overview card now that I've wasted 5 minutes talking to you about my introduction. Let's do that, and then I'll get back before the end of the video and tell you how you can connect with me and support me if you like me. All right. The influence of the month, the overview of the month is, oh, okay. We pulled Dark Lady. We pulled Dark Lady and she's upside down. Now, what you will find out about me if you listen to these lives, etc., is that I don't reversed cards to me. It's either something happening on a very deep level or it's something you're resisting. Reverse cards to me are not, oh my God, the world's getting in. It's terrible. You're awful. No, it's not. You will also find, if you've never encountered me before, that I use a lot of different voices. They just come out. It's all me. It's just a bunch of different voices. And anyway, so the Dark Lady reversed. The Dark Lady is about the gift that is our shadow. We all have shadow aspects to ourselves. Everything has a shadow aspect. And a lot of times we resist acknowledging that shadow because we're taught and socialized as little kids and as human beings that our very strong feelings, our very strong urges, our very strong passions, that those are bad and that we really need to tamp them down and shove them down and quiet them down, and that they're wrong. So a lot of times we also learn from watching our parents do it, or not do it. And then we don't want to be like them. So we shove those feelings down that we we saw exhibited in our parents. We shove those feelings down because we want to be lovable. We want to be seen. We want to be accepted. We want to be lovable. So we contort ourselves in these little pretzels. Well, the Dark Lady does not. The Dark Lady, that card, the energy of the card, which means that the energy overview of this month is that there are going to be gems. There are going to be gifts in all those things that you might consider shadow. That exploring that and uncovering some of that is going to find, you will find treasure within. You will find treasure within by exploring and understanding your shadow, because that's honestly where your intense passions and where your feelings, where those are, is part of your innate magic. And if there's anything that the Dark Lady is, she's pretty magic. She's pretty effing magical. So the overview of this month is you may be encountering the need to face some aspects of yourself that you have been rejecting and not acknowledging and pushing away. And my thoughts for you is that when you accept and acknowledge that they're there, they hold so much less power. And when you accept and acknowledge that they're there, you might find some incredible beauty in those parts of yourself that you have been rejecting and shoving down and resisting all this time. It's like when the dark lady comes and you really, really embrace that aspect of yourself, your own innate magic, you bring so much more of yourself to the table. If you can, rather than be in denial that you have strong feelings about something and shoving them down, you bring more of your authentic self to the table because that's what she's about. She knows that more of your authentic self that is being brought to the table is the magic. It is the magic. All right. I guess nobody from Facebook has come over yet. But the Dark Lady is the overview. Go to my YouTube page. I am live. I am live now. I said I am lice now. I am live right now. LOL. And I'm interrupting my live broadcast to steer people over here. So we've got the Dark Lady as the overview of the whole reading. Yes, she was reversed. This just means that there may be some digging that needs to happen, or you may encounter situations that bring up and trigger stuff that maybe you haven't wanted to look at, but this is telling you that it's time to look at it. It's time to look at it, that it's okay, it's safe to look at it, it's safe to bring more of you to the table. It's safe to bring more of your authentic self to the table, which is what the Dark Lady is all about. It's all about. All right, so that is what I generally do. We do a Fairies Oracle card for the influence of the whole reading or the overview of the month. I'm going down to get some more cards. And then we go to Spirit Cats. Now, basically what I do is I use all these different decks and I end up tying the messages together to create some sort of somewhat cohesive story about the energy of the month. That's just how I do it. And sometimes I pontificate. No, all the time I pontificate. I'm a pontificator. It's not kind of pushy pontificating, but it is my YouTube channel, so I get to do it. Anyway, we're going to shuffle these cards, the Spirit Cat cards, and these are really, really sweet. Sometimes they can be very profound. Sometimes they connect directly to the overview of the reading. Sometimes they connect directly more to cards that go later in the reading. So we'll see. All right, these little guys. Oh, this is a sweet one. This is really, I think that this one can be very comforting considering the what is it? The Dark Lady and how uncomfortable that can be. So this is, look at that little kitty. This is patience. We need to be patient with ourselves this month because we might get a little triggered. And it has to be okay because the stuff that's being triggered is stuff that a lot of times, and I'm human. I have times when I'm like, okay, I feel, and I know that triggered is a buzzword, tough. It seems to be appropriate for what happens. So basically, you get into a situation, you're in a relationship, or you're interacting with someone, or you encounter something, and it reminds you of something that you really didn't like before, or that you really want to avoid. And you and it triggers you. I know that that's a buzzword, but it triggers you. It reminds you of that old situation, even though that was then and this is now. It's kind of similar. different characters, maybe different characters, but a similar feeling. It's bringing up a similar feeling. And that's when the Dark Lady comes in, because she's giving you the opportunity to respond differently to an old situation that might come up, and to respond more, because it's the Dark Lady, to respond more authentically to, oh gosh, I lost her. She flew away. She's got good wings. She did it. But to respond differently and more authentically to a situation, to a new situation that may bring up old feelings. And as I stated earlier in this reading, these old feelings are coming up for a reason. They are coming up to either be released or healed or acknowledged in some way, because that's how we can bring more of ourselves to the table. That's where the magic is. The magic is getting into, having a situation that you get into, that you encounter, that reminds you of another situation, but being able to be patient enough with yourself to respond differently to that situation. You know, you could just keep responding the same way over and over again, but eventually, each time that situation or that type of situation comes up, each time you encounter it, it gets more and more intensified and more uncomfortable not to respond in a new way, not to respond differently, in a way that reflects who you are now, as opposed to who you were when that prior situation happened that created that kind of response. Okay? Well, this card, cat spirit card, is patience. Meet Snugpuff. She transmutes our restless urgency and our "are we there yet" complaints into the appreciation of what is right now. Let go of everything that will come after this moment. I'm going to say it again. Let go of everything that will come after this moment. I'm having to do that right now because I normally have a whole bunch of people on Facebook Live, and now I'm here on YouTube Live, like a whole new freaking thing. So, let go of everything that will come after this moment and have faith that you are exactly where you need to be. Have faith that you are exactly where you need to be. Draw a circle around the present moment and relax into it with Snugpuff curled up in your lap. Sometimes we believe we need to be at our destination right now, but there's so much to be learned and discovered right here where we are. Let's be patient with ourselves, our loved ones, and the world around us. There is time. Okay, so I tied that into how it works with the Dark Lady. We need to be patient with ourselves. We're not gonna, it's not gonna get resolved. I feel like, even though some of this stuff is gonna come up this month with the overview, some of your shadow is gonna come up this month to be released, to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be loved. It may come up this month, but we're going to need to be patient with ourselves, because I don't think that it does not feel like this month is going to be everything gets resolved and tied up in a tiny little bow month. I think that there will be some open-ended things that are going to go into May. Definitely. And don't be surprised by it. Don't be surprised by it at all. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm using the Starman deck. This is a David Bowie inspired deck. And this deck I'm going to use for the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month, because that's how I roll. Okay. These cards sometimes we get major arcana cards, sometimes we get minor arcana cards. It really depends. So I've got these. I'm going to shuffle these now. And the beginning of the month is going to encompass from April 1st, which we've already had, and I know it's the 5th, so neener. April 1st through the 12th. and then the 13th through the 20th, and then the 21st through the 30th is the third. Ooh, am I going to call it? I can't call it a quadrant because that's 4. Anyway, the last third of the month. Okay, so the first part of the month, pulling now. I'm going to pull all 3 cards and then I'll hold them up and tell you the story. Okay. And I might use my prerogative to turn the cards right side up. Or maybe not. Okay. All right. So, the beginning of the month. The beginning of the month, again, I say it is the 1st through the 12th. This is the Starman deck, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful deck. It's very mystical, kind of. It's kind of similar. It's a little bit similar to like Alex Gray kind of artwork. If you're familiar with Alex Gray, look him up. It's really incredible, incredible stuff. But this is Alex Gray's more anatomy kind of energetic anatomy kind of stuff. And this has a lot of symbolism, a lot more symbolism. So if you look at this is the 6 of Pentacles. It's upside down. So what I'm seeing with this is, and how I read the tarot, is that 6s relate to the Lover's card. And the Lover's card is about choice. It's about communication. It's about relationships of all kinds. It's about connections of all kinds. And Pentacles is about stability, security, manifestation, and grounding. Okay? So if we've got the 6 of Pentacles at the beginning of the month, let's see. So what this would mean, and it's reversed. And again, I do not read the reverse cards like something bad. I read the reverse cards as either something that you're resisting, we're resisting, or something that's happening on a very deep level. I feel to combine with the Dark Lady card, the overview of the whole reading, there may be some resistance there. The 6 of Pentacles is about, okay, I get it. Okay. Bingo, a light just went on over my head. How fun is that? Okay, so if we've got the 6 of Pentacles and we relate it to the Dark Lady card, if there is a resistance to old stuff or shadow, there could also be situations that come up that you encounter that you get opportunities to make the connections that the 6 of Pentacles can make in order to create security. It's just that some of those connections that you might be able to make and the choices that you might want to make based from your heart, but grounded based from your heart, because we got the Pentacles there. Some of those choices that you want to make, it's like my shirt is crooked. I'm so picky about that stuff. I apologize. Okay, some of the choices that you might need to make about these connections, you might feel resistance about them because those might be the situations that remind you of old situations. Let's say, hypothetically, for example, you had a couple of times, maybe, I can use my own life as an example. Okay. A long time ago, all I kept trying to do was I tried really hard, or I wanted to try really hard to become some sort of entrepreneur kind of thing, right? Not that I think that that is a bad thing, because I know amazing ones, and I know people who are amazing businessmen and women, business thems. I know amazing people that really rock that stuff. I am not good at selling my, I don't, it doesn't feel integrity to me. That doesn't mean that I don't think it's integrity with them. It means that that doesn't feel right to me. So when I get presented with some sort of opportunity, that because I've tried a whole bunch of times to start my own business, get things going, get a practice going and everything like that, start my client practice and everything like that. And sometimes things have really rocked for a little while and then gone. And I always end up I always end up going back to, okay, I need to rely on my day job, and this is just something that has to be on the side for now. Because, and so when opportunities come up to take it to another level, I remember when I failed. I remember when I feel like I messed up. I remember that when I didn't feel worthy of it. And that's the dark lady. That's the shadow there. I remember those things. So it's hard. It makes it hard sometimes for me to see beyond that old pattern, or those old patterns and the old ways that I used to handle things. And so this card being upside down, the Six of Pentacles, in a similar way, can be a resistance to making those connections. Like I was resistant to taking my Facebook lives and putting them on YouTube live, where they could just sit there and be on YouTube, etc. And who knows what could happen with them. And I was resistant to doing that, because it seemed so easy to put them on Facebook and just have them be on Facebook, and my friends would show up and everything would be really great, and it was like old home week and a community and stuff. And um obviously April has forced me into something else, so I'm stretching myself. So this whole live is not all about me, but that is an example of it that is just dawning on me just here. And I have to be patient with it and with myself and with the fact that my shirt just looks crooked all the time. Why? Why does it look crooked all the time? Okay, those of you that don't know me and have tuned in, this happens. This kind of voice stuff happens. Apparently, it's part of my charm. I know you don't know me yet, but it is part of my charm. The facial expressions and this. Okay, so for the next part of the month, we have from the 12th until the 20th. That's what I said, wasn't it? From the 12th until the 20th. The middle card is, oh, cool. It is the Ace of Wands reversed. Okay, so aces in the tarot are always gifts from the universe. Wands is about fire, creativity, passion, lust, magic. Creative fire, the impetus, the inspiration. Whoo! And having this be upside down in the middle of the month, how this can be a continuation of the Six of Pentacles is that it's, oh, I'm getting the words slow burn. That it is a slow burn. There's a burn, but it's a slow burn as far as passion and magic is concerned. It'll take a little while to wake it up. So basically what's happening is we're making a choice at the beginning of the month, or we're being faced with making a choice at the beginning of the month, and we're not exactly sure which choice is the right one for us. And my advice to you is to really listen. The choice that you can feel in your body, that feels right in your body, is the choice to make. And then it moves. What happens is once we make that choice, and we're patient with ourselves as we do it, a fire gets lit, a good fire, because aces are always gifts from the universe. So there's like this creative slow burn that's unfolding in the middle of the month. And we may not be able to see it externally yet, but there's an idea. There is an idea happening. It's really happening, and it's really in there during the middle of the month, from the 12th to the 20th. And then we move from the 20th to the 30th, and we get a major arcana card. And when we get the major arcana cards in the tarot, the major arcana is about your soul evolution as opposed to your day-to-day stuff. These other cards are like how you conduct business day to day, the people that you deal with day to day, the you that you deal with day to day. But Major Arcana is your soul evolution. Like it's kind of a big deal. So I like to see the Major Arcana as like this, the spiral of manifestation. Some people have said the circle of manifestation. No, this is a spiral of manifestation. And it's all these different levels, and they each card builds on itself and then rebuilds on itself and then goes into a whole nother level of it, because you think that you've created or manifested. When you get to the Wheel of Fortune, you're like, yeah, everything's showing up, that's really great. Woo, I need to be grounded while that's happening. And then you get to the other card, the next card, the card 11, uh, where you're having to make some sort of adjustment. And then you start kind of over again a deeper level of manifestation. And anyway, if you're interested in learning the tarot from me, I am starting I'm starting with the Major Arcana over on my Patreon page, and I will put links in the show notes for my Patreon page. And I'm making videos every week. We do card of the week videos, deep dives over on Patreon with my TikTok card of the week videos. Anyway, back to this. Without further ado, from the 20th to the 30th for April, we have the Starman. Now, in regular tarot decks, as you can see, this is it? It's card number 1. And in regular tarot decks, that would be the Magician. Now, in regular tarot decks, the Magician has a table in front of him, and he has all the symbols for all the suits in front of him: pentacles, cups, swords, wands, right in front of him. And he's got a magic wand, and his hand is up, and he is bringing universal energy down into his arm, somehow it through the top of his head. This is, so you've already had the Fool, which is card 0. You've already taken the leap of faith, and you've trusted that everything is going to work out. So you've taken that leap of faith, which is the seed. So now you have to germinate the seed, and that is the Magician. And what the Magician card is about, or the Starman card is about, is getting to this place where you understand and acknowledge. And I think he really connects to the Dark Lady, because you're bringing more of yourself, more of your authentic self into the world. And the Starman has this understanding that he has absolutely everything that he needs to work up the energy he needs to create. He is the germination of the seed. He's the divine masculine, as they say. He's that principle. He's the germination of the seed. I'm talking about April's cards of the month. This is the Starman. And he is like the Magician in the tarot. So basically, he has all the tools that he needs. He has all the tools that he needs to manifest what he needs to manifest. So he's like the first step. So you have the Fool, kind of comes out into the world. Fool is like the egg or the seed, and the Magician germinates the seed. And so from the 20th until the 30th of this month, there is the Magician comes in and shows you that you have everything you need to move forward. You have everything that you need to manifest what it is that you want to manifest. And as long as you continue to understand that the overview of the month is the Dark Lady, which means that there will be aspects of yourself that you have either been in denial about, or just shoved down, or ways that you contorted yourself into a pretzel just to be loved and accepted. They're going to come up for healing, that are going to come up for acceptance and love, and be seen, and understand that you can find magic in those places within yourself. So that's what, and that kind of connects into the magician because he has all the tools that he needs at the table. And the dark lady helps you bring more of your tools to the table. So I think, as I said earlier in this, um, that this may not be a month where you feel like everything is all resolved, but it's a month where there's some movement, definitely, and there's some expansion. But there's also, because of the dark lady and because she is connected to the shadow, our inner shadow, then there will be times where you're having to look at things within yourself and reconcile things within yourself in order to move forward, in order to, and it might feel vulnerable, but it's also, as I said, um, you're bringing more of your authentic self to the table, and that's pretty cool. So let's go on and see what else we've got here. We've got, oh, I love using these. Oh, my cat came out of the closet. What? Those of you who don't know me are surprised that I'm a cat lady? Don't be surprised. I'm a cat lady. Okay, so I have the Animal Spirit Oracle. This is going to be a support card. Not a report card, but a support card for the month of April. This will kind of help ground us. That's the word that just came up, so I'm going to agree with it. Oh, hi, kitty. I have a little calico cat, calico bunny, and she's very shy. And I don't think she knows I'm doing a video right now. She's decided that it's time to, oh, very cool. It's time to get some attention. Where did I put the book? All right. So these cards are amazing. They're incredible. They are by Colette Baron Reed, and they're called the Spirit Animal Oracle. Okay. I bought them because I saw this card on the front and I thought it was, woo, I'm just throwing stuff everywhere. I thought it was really beautiful. So we got, for the grounding card, which I think is pretty cool, is act as if. Chameleon spirit. Act as if. Now I think that's nice, because what happens is when you delve into facing more of your shadow, it gets a little scary, and you have to be patient with yourself, like this card indicated. And the chameleon spirit is, uh, not only do you have all those, but acting as if you know what you're doing, acting as if you already have it, like you already have what you've been wanting, or not what you've been wanting, or the energy that you've been wanting, the feelings that you've been wanting. So let's see what the act as if, what the chameleon says. And since I just got these cards, I don't have all the book meanings memorized, because I haven't. But I mean, you could kind of tell from when it says act as if, but it's nice to have the book with me. So let's see. The oracle message for chameleon spirit. Chameleon spirit shares a gift with you today to prepare you for changes that will greatly benefit you. Outer conditions are changing, and you're required to come into harmony with them so you can create your greatest dream. Feeling sensitive. Come on. Oh, I got to put the card down. I apologize. Feeling sensitive. Good, because that will come in handy, enabling you to determine how best to adapt to your environment and the people in it, while at the same time maintaining your integrity and inner equilibrium. Easy for me to say, wasn't it? It was really easy for me to say. Not. Even if you feel like you're in uncharted territory, chameleon spirit has complete faith in your ability to fit in and learn the lay of the land, adapting as necessary. This is a fortunate time to act as if and do as others do until the new ways feel familiar and completely natural. Life is offering you a great lesson now. Adapting isn't about losing yourself. It is no longer about losing yourself. As it is no longer about contorting yourself into a little pretzel. This is not the book. This is me talking. This is not, it is no longer acceptable to contort yourself into a little pretzel just to be loved, just to be seen, just to be accepted. Life is offering you a great lesson now. Adapting isn't about losing yourself, it's about learning how to dance with others. So, the protection message is being sensitive and having empathy for others can become a heavy burden if you don't practice self care. Could it be that you're feeling stressed because you've tuned into challenging emotions that aren't even yours? Chameleon spirit does not want you to adapt to these conditions by withdrawing and distracting yourself, hoping the feelings will just go away, or attempting to rescue another who may be having a pity party. You can be swallowed up trying to manage it all. It is time to figure out where you end and the rest of the world begins. Not all conditions are yours to match. You need to distinguish your own color from the rest of the world right now and not and take time to soothe your sensitive soul. Choose some activities that will restore your sense of being grounded and avoid people who revel in drama. Take a break from social media. 2. Self-care and time out is the answer to this temporary dilemma. So that is the chameleon card. That's your support. Ooh, I got him upside down. I'm sorry. He did not come out upside down. They did not come out upside down. Um, so the chameleon card is the support card for this month. This is what will support us. This card is what will support us when we're looking at the shadow that is coming up, the shadows that are coming up for us. And a cat on my foot. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let's see. Which other? Oh, yeah, I have this other deck here. I like this deck. I got it on Etsy. I have no idea who the artist is, but it's very sweet. And here's the back of it. It's very simple. I'm going to pull a card, and then this is just going to be maybe the lightening up of the reading, and maybe we'll have a conversation about what that means. Oh, I pulled two because it's a different kind of paper and they stuck together, but I really like them. So, oh, this is really good. Okay, so the first card that came up, I am a queen. It's true, I am. But so are you. So are we all. We are all, we are the royalty in our own lives. And that is not being selfish or vain. I know from vain, look, I'm worried about this crease right here. Um, it's about self-respect. It's about treating yourself like you matter. It's about seeing yourself. It's about and if you go along with the dark lady, the dark lady is like that as well. It's like, okay, so I'm going to have strong feelings about something, and that has to be okay. uh as long as, here's the thing, everybody has bad days, and everybody has, feels out of control sometimes, and everybody, not everybody is chill all the time. I've stated this before in my other live videos, in my other videos that I was posting on Facebook. Thank you, Zenny Optical, by the way. Um, but I've said this in other live videos. It's like even the people that you look up to, even the people that you look up to, the people that some people consider gurus or whatever, they have crappy days. They say crappy stuff to people when they're having a crappy day. The difference is, can they be accountable for it? Can you be accountable for it? For instance, if I have a little snit with, with my daughter or my roommate or my close relation, in a close relationship, can I say, I am super frustrated right now, so anything that comes out of my mouth is going to suck. So, you know, proceed with caution, and please don't take it personally, because that's not what it's meant. And that's me acknowledging this shadow, that like I was very frustrated that I could not go live over on Facebook like I do every other Wednesday. Hello. But oh well. I was frustrated, and I, my daughter was trying to interject and say, well, try this and try that, and I was starting to get more frustrated because I was like, I was on overwhelm. And then I said, well, anything that I respond, I'm really frustrated right now. And I said that very thing. And she didn't take it personally. I didn't take it personally. And then she came up with a solution. She said, well, why not go live on YouTube? And and then my next thought, because we're both pretty pragmatic, is, huh, good. Then I'll give my friends a link on Facebook so that they can find me over on YouTube. And the ones that find me, that's pretty awesome. And the ones that don't, well, I'll give them a link afterwards, because this is kind of like our community thing. Every other week, I get on here on a Wednesday night at 6:30, and I talk about either the cards of the month, or I just talk about different topics and bring stuff up. Sometimes I pull cards. Sometimes I just talk about the energy around things. Sometimes I just off gas. You know, sometimes I have Cat Lady Chronicles. Or if I'm processing something that's come up that I find might be valuable or pertinent to another human being, um, because we're all humans having this experience, and I really want people to know that, even the people that you see that are presenting this totally shiny kind of life, even if you see this and you think I'm presenting this totally shiny kind of life and everything like that, I have crappy days too. And sometimes I'm an a-hole. Yeah, sometimes I'm a total a-hole, you know but I'm willing to be accountable. I don't want to be. It's my intention not to be. Yes, there are a lot of people out in the world that, they really don't care and they don't want to be accountable because it's too much trouble, or because that won't give them the power that they want to have. But that's not how I roll, and that's not what I'm interested in. So, anyway, but this is still true. I don't care who you are, whether you are he, she, they, them, however you identify yourself. It's okay for you to have your crown on, because you deserve it. Simply because you exist. Simply because you found yourself in this body at this time. And you just happen to find yourself watching this video. I really believe in divine timing. I believe in synchronicity. And and I believe that whatever energy that we're putting out, that it magnetizes people, places, things, situations, and That doesn't mean that it's our fault if something shitty happens. That's not where I'm going with this. I'm just talking about the good stuff. Like maybe you found this video. Maybe you found this video. And if there's any way that it can comfort you or entertain you, then that is pretty damn awesome to me, because that's the intention. Because I'm pretty sure that if I didn't come in to be rich and famous, which that's what I thought when I was in high school, I wanted to be this famous actress. Life had other plans for me. If that's not why I'm here, then I'm pretty sure that I'm here to be as authentic as I can be, and to spread love and to communicate love and to connect people in that way. I'm pretty sure that's big picture why. I'm not sure how I do it other than just express myself. Sometimes I do it through singing. Sometimes I do it through this. Sometimes I do it through, used to do it through comedy. And it's just my way of showing people that I love them. The lighting just changed. It's kind of weird, but maybe that's my brain. So the other card that I pulled with this is this one. And it's kind of what I'm talking about. When you can't look on the bright side, I will sit with you in the dark. We need to treat ourselves that way, and also treat others that way. Do you know, sometimes, like I said, people have bad days. And just because it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean it's wrong for them to be expressing that they've had a bad day. I know it's really hard not to want to control other people's emotions as well, because it makes you uncomfortable, or control other people's life choices because it makes you uncomfortable. As a parent, I get it. But I'm not responsible for anybody else's choices. I'm responsible for how I respond to people. I'm responsible for how I respond to situations that come up. And then we can tie that in to the April cards, to the Dark Lady, and acknowledging I'm responsible for when I get triggered. I'm responsible for how I respond to it, for the choices that I make based on that or not based on that. I'm responsible for learning how to be more patient with myself when these things come up. And so are you. It's hard sometimes because it feels really scary to be that much yourself or that much vulnerable. Some people don't have a hard time with it, but a lot of the people that I end up connecting with, they do. Because we want to be nice, because we want things to be calm. But that can't be all the time, and it's not. It may not be fun, but it's part of being able. Being able to bring more of yourself to the table, and life becomes so much more magical, and it falls into place so much better when you have accepted more of yourself in the equation. It just becomes so much better. So I'm looking very forward to April, and I'm going to do my best to act as if, like the chameleon, and remember that we are still in the Six of Pentacles time, where we're connecting, we're kind of making the connections that we need to make in order to bring more stability and security and physical manifestation and groundedness into our lives. And don't resist that. I know that sometimes it seems boring to have to do that mundane, pragmatic shit. And pardon my French, that wasn't French, was it? But I know it's hard sometimes to deal with that kind of pragmatic stuff, but it's important. Don't resist it, because what you are doing is you're creating a good foundation for the germination of the seed that happens towards the end of the month, where we get the starman or the magician coming in to germinate the seed. And also, you're creating a foundation for the Ace of Wands to come in the middle of the month and inspire you with some sort of creative fire or idea on a deep level. It may not show up. And like I said, I feel like April isn't going to be a month where things get resolved and tied up in a nice little bow, but it is a month where things will be on their way there. That's what it feels like to me. That's the energy that I'm getting from it. And that's generally how I tell the stories. So um, I want to thank you for joining me for the April cards of the month in this unusual place that I don't generally find myself doing long form videos on YouTube. But I guess this is the first one, it's the beginning. Now, I would like to tell you that, as I stated a little bit earlier, I'm starting with the major arcana. I will be doing videos about the meanings of the major arcana, each of the major arcana cards, and then I'll move on to the court cards, and I'll talk about the suits at the same time, and then I will move on to the numbered cards, and I will show you a way to connect them all so that eventually, at the end of the course, people will be able to read the tarot themselves. It'll be very exciting, or they'll at least get some sort of overview. And that'll be on my Patreon. And let me tell you what my Patreon is verbally. Who am I? Who am I? Okay. I am Erin, aka Queenie, over on Patreon. And you can find me there. I'll put the link in the description here. I also have a website, which is probably in the description here, I think. I'm pretty sure it is. www.queenieintuitive.com. queenieintuitive.com. Sorry. And so I also, every week on TikTok, I am Erin Shannon on TikTok, or Queenie Pie. I do a weekly card pull that talks about the energy of the week. I do a very quick weekly card pull, but if you become a patron over on Patreon, I do a deep dive into each of those cards every week. So you get like 3 minutes on TikTok, you get about 10 minutes on Patreon. And the beauty about Patreon is you can just show up and land on any of the cards, and whenever you happen to find out, it doesn't have to be exactly that week. It can be whatever week you end up on that card. I trust energy that way. So and that's kind of how I roll. I also do I also do readings via Messenger, or um, on Facebook, Skype, etc., etc. But I like coming here, and maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do YouTube now. If they won't allow me to do Facebook, which I'm really going to check into, I don't understand that. Um, but maybe I just didn't click a box or something. That has happened before, but it was on both the phone and this lovely little iPad. But I will be back in a couple of weeks for another Wednesday night live, and I will make sure that I do a little story or something like that on here, or some sort of announcement on my page if you subscribe to my page. So I can't remember where to point because I'm not an expert YouTuber, but subscribe to my page and you'll be informed every time I upload a new video, whether it's a live. You'll be informed if I'm live. You'll be informed if I upload a new video. Sometimes I upload other videos. You can look at my older videos. I might have something embarrassing there. I don't know. But anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you watching and hanging in with me here. And I guess we will. I guess we'll see each other in a couple of weeks. I do these videos every 2 weeks, and I guess I'm doing them on YouTube now. So, see you guys later. Have a great month, and we'll talk soon. Oh, my Marilyn Monroe painting. This is by an artist named Chris Fabry, Fabbri, out of Oakland, California. She's beautiful, isn't she? I have a special connection with, or I don't know. I think that everybody feels like they have a special connection with Marilyn. But anyway, I love her. And she loves the purple chair. I feel like this is my favorite setup. It took me a while to get to the setup that is my favorite setup for any of the lives or for any of my videos. And it's this purple velvet chair and her just like right there behind me. It's good. I'm definitely a fan of hers. Yeah. Yeah. She was a beautiful and slightly tragic figure. And there was a lot more to her than people. I don't know, but I think that with celebrities anyway, we tend to think that they're just these one-dimensional beings that we're entitled to. But and that's what people thought of her in a way. So, anyway, good night, guys. I will see you soon. I guess I X out of here. I'm new to this YouTube live business. Have a good one. Check out my Patreon. Check out my website. And I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you.